Hello guys, I'm your friend ufoguy here, and I'm pretty sure it's not just me. We are all getting used to watching some already rich YouTubers tell you about how to get rich in 2023 and some different getting rich not very quick strategies like investing, spending less, earning more and such stuff, and even some side hustles. But in today's video, Graham Stephan is gonna tell us about something that I personally have never heard before, and I'm keen to hear what he has to say. Let's watch together.
What's up guys, it's Graham here. So in the middle of a recession, one industry seems to be absolutely booming with the promise of making a lot of people really
The crypto
rich,
industry.
and that would be artificial intelligence. For example, I told
okay.
OpenAI's ChatGPT to write a YouTube video in the style of Graham Stephan on real estate investing and make it 25 minutes long. And in less than a minute, I had a complete outline. In fact,
How does this thing work? ChatGPT, I've never heard of this thing before.
it was so good that I just asked it to add a little bit of humor. And in a few seconds, it says, we're gonna make this as fun as buying a new toilet. Because let's be real, who doesn't love a good toilet? Honestly,
I do remember when I had to buy my own toilet, and it was loads of fun, like researching for hours on the internet what toilet will fit in that hole.
in terms of using this to make money, its potential is really only limited by the questions you're willing to ask it. And from what I've seen, this is really only the tip of the iceberg in terms of what's possible. Since this
Wait a minute, isn't this like one of these chatbots that you just say hi, it responds hi, you ask how are you, it says I'm good, how are you, and such stuff.
could be used by almost anyone, anywhere to generate an income, from freelancers, entrepreneurs, to business owners and people online.
How am I
who
gonna
choices
make
about
money
toilets.
from this
So let's talk
chatbot?
about exactly what this is, why
Chat
it's already starting to
GP
become such a big business,
GPT.
how people are able to generate substantial wealth from a concept that's only just begun, and then finally how you could use this information to make you money on this episode of Terminator 7: The Rise of
I love how he always does stuff like this, like he has a concert hall in front of him listening to his movements.
Stolen art. Alright, so first of all, I don't think you fully understand just how much AI is currently being used throughout almost every aspect of your life. Just take Google for an example. Like if you go in a new browser and you type in
How many ounces in a cup? How many days until Christmas? How many weeks in a year? Why do people Google ounces instead of some real metric system?
how many, it'll auto-populate with the most common suggestions that you might be interested in. But when you search for Terminator and then type
How many Terminator movies? Ounces in a cup? Days until Christmas? Again, the same stuff.
in how many, it knows that you're probably asking how many Terminator movies there are. And when you start noticing all of these tiny things, you'll begin to realize just how accurate it's becoming.
I'm pretty sure everyone, even the non-speculative, but of course the very speculative person, know that if you talk near your phone or if you Google something and the other day you're starting to get all of these ads. Now, I'm not saying that anyone is listening to your phone, although it's probably a real idea. But once I was talking about poems. It's not a typical day that you talk about poems, but on the next day I was having ads for poems on Facebook.
For example, in 2018, Facebook revealed to be using artificial intelligence that would predict your future behavior and then serve that to advertisers before you even know you needed it. Other algorithms are known for feeding you content that it's predicted you'll watch based on past behavior, and if we take it a step further, it could be used for determining whether or not two people are romantically compatible or how
That, at least in the terms of YouTube, is actually a great thing because it always recommends me videos that I want to watch. How does it know? Smart stuff, huh?
long your existing relationship could last, all from using the data that you give it. Although in its most basic form, in terms of how this applies to you, let's talk about the technology that's gaining the most attention as a potential business, and that would be ChatGPT. Now,
Okay, we need to know a little bit more about that.
I'm not going to bore you with too many nuances because there are plenty of YouTube videos out
ChatGPT. How have I never heard of this thing? This guy has almost 400k views.
there going over every imaginable detail, but as a high-level overview, just think of it like this. ChatGPT is a computer program that allows you to ask it almost anything, and it'll
Before we continue with the video, I'm 100% sure that this is something that YouTubers are either paid to show or they have affiliate links. If it's a good program, why not, of course. Let's see.
Spit back an answer using its artificial intelligence. To show you just how insane this is, I tested it out by asking it to write a script in the style of Graham Stephan about how people can make money with ChatGPT. And in seconds, I had an outline that was even detailed enough to know the style of my intro. Then from there,
this is probably the chat version of this AI that generates some pictures for you.
I told it to make it funnier, and it added a segment to my style of, "But Graham, I already have enough chatbots in my life. I don't need another one." I seriously can't make this stuff up. It understood my videos well enough that it could predict the jokes I make and then place them in the correct spots throughout the video. I could probably even have it write sales scripts, emails, birthday cards,
Then do it.
or even
If he thinks it's so great, why doesn't he script one of his videos and uploads him? He's already having a great channel, and he's very worried about his growth, and if he fails with a video that it's gonna go downfall. Risk it if you like this chatbot so much.
Legal template for a liability release in the state of Nevada. Now obviously the software isn't perfect, and there could be some serious problems to using this that I'll discuss shortly, but on the most fundamental level, the applications of this could be infinite if you know how to give it the proper inputs. For example, building apps. Like, one of the first videos I watched on the subject was from the YouTube channel Joshua Maroney, who built an app from start to finish just using the chatbot's recommendation. And then
recommendations. Okay. Does it even know about coding?
Jumping game for iOS, and within a minute it spit out the results. Now obviously,
wait a minute, it knows coding. You can ask it to code for you?
I'm not a developer at all, and I have no idea what any of this stuff means. So
I believe
then
you.
went and asked it, how do I create a new iOS game on a Mac computer? And it literally gave me the entire blueprint.
Okay, the blueprint? Okay, but what about the code? If it can spit out the code and you may have to arrange it a little bit, change it here and there, that would be insane. I agree, this would be insane, but I doubt this is the case.
I then followed the directions, but then got stuck for an hour trying to learn Xcode. But I was able to get some help from a subscriber on Instagram, who I'll link to in the description. And within a short time after, the so-called game was at least kind of functional. Now granted, I only spent about an hour trying to learn the mechanics of building a mobile game, and I still had to ask for help and couldn't figure it out on my own. But the fact
You
that
can't
use a
become a
free
coder
resource
with
to build
1
something
hour.
that you could potentially sell is mind-blowing for somebody who comes with a very limited background to learning how to do something like that.
Okay, if they can market this as easy to learn how to build apps on your phone, probably it's gonna sell very well.
Not to mention, this extends throughout almost anything. Like, you want to build a landing page for a coffee company? Just ask and you could preview the page here. Or you could ask it to be more modern, and there it goes. Now, after I spent a few days tinkering with this, I understand that it's not 100% perfect. But you know what? It's close. And for somebody who already has the understanding of the basics, it could be used to dramatically speed up the process and have
So it's like you're a human, you're creating an AI that creates another AI for another human to use, so that human can change the AI and it's
do the framework for you. Now, the second application I found incredibly interesting was writing. In fact, weeks before messing around with the software, I read an article about an author who created an entire children's book using artificial intelligence. And I have to say, it sounded like a genius idea. He explained that he gave ChatGPT the general idea, then went back and forth honing the topics, and then used the Discord server mid-journey to create a style of artificially generated images from which he could use to...
That's actually a very wild idea. Now I see how can people make money from this. You generate the pictures from the AI machine, you generate the chat, the story, I mean, from the other one, you mix them together, edit a little bit, and there you go. But it still requires work.
But not everyone was happy. See, typically a book like this would require the creativity of its writer and combine that with the artistic ability of an illustrator to bring those words to life. But with AI, a program could simply scrape the internet for images, rearrange them, and then they're indistinguishable.
That illustration was awesome.
On top of that, there's also the question of who owns the images. Is it the person who asks, or is it...
Was about to ask absolutely the same question. If you get the image and then you twist it a little bit, it's still the owner owns it, because you have twisted it just just a little bit, not enough so you can say, yeah, it's my property.
The data from which the information was gathered and sourced. Something like this actually reminds me of the website thispersondoesnotexist.com, which compiles images and then rearranges facial features to give you an entirely new person who does not actually exist. Now we'll get to
How
the
is
dangers
this
of
possible?
artificial imaging shortly, but as of now, the writing feature opens the door to some rather unique opportunities for anyone wanting to create sales scripts, essays, emails, or pretty much anything that you could ask for in a fraction of the time that it would take to write on your own. And it would probably do a better job than most people since it has the ability to scour the internet for the best information. AI also takes it a step further by paraphrasing and rewording specific sentences to give you an alternative text to use. For example, I took one of my outlines from a previous video.
But Zio takes a slightly different approach by aggregating their own numbers of okay.
And came out with a new outline with notations for each word that was changed.
Zio, however, adopts a slightly different strategy by combining. Okay, you can even see the changed words.
Used to essentially copy someone else's work and then change it up enough not to be picked up by plagiarism filters, but you have to admit, it's pretty impressive how well this is able to deliver information. And even
I agree.
Elon Musk called it scary good. You also have another unique aspect of this, and that
Elon Musk is known for being afraid of AI taking over the world someday, so if he says it's scary good, then it's scary good.
Imaging. Even though an app like Lensa AI has been gaining a lot of popularity throughout Instagram, with everybody posting these AI-generated images of themselves, the Discord group Midjourney takes this a step further and creates whatever you could imagine for free. Now, it's probably not something that's going to make you a fortune because the market's being flooded with AI-generated
All
images.
of these can be
some basic Photoshop skills.
NFTs.
You can use the service to dramatically speed up the process of creating an image. Like, say, for example, I want to use this image, but instead of a Tesla in the background, I want it to be in the middle of an ocean with a shark in the background and a treasure chest. Well, in the past, I would have to find each of those images separately and import
in the past, he had to hire an editor to do this job for him.
them into Photoshop and blend them together. But by asking Midjourney, I could get a workable background and cut around the parts that I want to use to create the perfect image. Not to mention, as AI eventually gets more advanced,
much worse than what he was making.
Photorealistic images that would be indistinguishable from the real thing. Like, why spend tens of thousands of dollars creating a professional photo shoot of a Big Mac when you could have AI generate the exact same image you're looking for in minutes? From there,
I agree, they look pretty nice.
Cartoons, movies, or even influencer deepfakes. Like, just watch this video from the New York Times. If you thought she was real, she's actually a deepfake. And it's only getting
who would have thought she's real? Imagine people who have no clue about coding starting a coding job from home, let's say, and they use this and they say, oh, I don't see a problem with my code. Can you fix it then?
Prevent their answers from being listed. What's even worse, though, is that the AI sounds extremely confident and could frequently mislead their users who take it at face value. In fact, our brains are wired to respond to confidence, partly because we've evolved to follow someone who seems to know what they're talking about. And because of that, it's essential that you be critical of all the information you receive, which, let's be real, most people don't want to think for themselves. In addition to that, you're also prone to receiving regurgitated, generic information. See, one of the benefits of a search is that it casts a wide net of information, and then you can assimilate the bits and pieces that you're looking for to form an open perspective. But in the case of AI, it's often pulling from the same basket of information, which could be why quite a few of the videos here on YouTube seem eerily similar. Not to mention there have been quite a few biases in the system, which was the experience of one Twitter user or the unfortunate case of a Twitter bot who took
Twitter taught Microsoft's AI chatbot to be a what?
The downside that I see is that AI cannot form and share experiences. The thing is, there's nothing more powerful than a real-life story with perspective, emotion, and empathy.
I'm pretty sure the people that are investing in Meta right now totally disagree, but I agree. This is getting wild.
It's still insanely impressive to get more than 1 million users in 5
ChatGPT gained 1 million users in under a week.
days, which gives Mr. Beast a run for his money. But in terms of practical uses, here's where I think it'll absolutely disrupt everyday businesses in just the next few years. First, customer service. As of right now, most chatbots that you see are absolutely terrible. They're slow.
Totally agree, and it feels like they're made from kids.
Is too unique to get a desired outcome with a predetermined answer. In fact, 78% of consumers are connected to a person after.
Yes, they are connected to a person because the chatbot. The reason there is a chatbot is just to see if there are any of the main questions that it can ask and then refer you to the human. So why not refer you to the human in the first place? It's probably because a lot of people are asking dumb questions on the phone.
They're failing to resolve their needs with the bot. But I have a feeling that's soon going to change. As AI technology advances, we're probably going to get to a point where you have no idea you're talking to a computer, leading us to number 2, video. Google was...
Hey, this reminds me of this YouTube ad that appears that someone says, yeah, you probably don't know that this is an AI generated voice.
Able to create 2 side-by-side deepfakes that were able to have a fully self-aware 6-minute conversation about their lives as a robot. And even though they just seem a little bit off, the video's from 18 months ago, which is forever in internet time. And I promise, technology like this tends to be exponential, with each year being able to outpace the advancements of the year prior tenfold. Just take this Google Assistant AI phone call as an example. Their AI technology was able to book appointments in a human tone without the other person even knowing they were talking to a robot.
I'm looking for something on May 3rd. Sure, give me 1 second.
This reminds me of these scam phone calls. They sound absolutely the same.
That means with enough time, we'll be able to create completely lifelike videos with people that don't actually exist, that we have no idea doesn't exist.
This means that we can create also scammers that can't actually be caught, but they are still gonna steal your money.
Of course, the downside is that it might one day become sentient, which Google denies, but regardless, we have third search. My theory is that if AI is able to predict what we want to search for and the type of information we want,
is good.
It would be able to assimilate that within a video that you could watch just like anything else on YouTube. Like, say for
So it will be absolutely pointless to make YouTube videos in 10 years. No.
example, you want to learn how to fix a flat tire. Well, instead of sifting through hundreds of YouTube videos that usually have fluff in the beginning and ask you to hit the like button and have affiliate links in the description and mention that you could get a free stock when you sign up down below with their sponsor.
The most important thing, the free stock.
It's worth all the way up to $1,000 when you make a deposit.
Like, you can get a free stock in Trading 212 if you sign up with my links in the description box and do the stuff.
Well, besides all of that, AI might be able to generate the perfect video that applies to exactly what you're looking for without any fluff. Like, imagine you're able to ask a question and it generates the exact video that you need for exactly what your question is with the exact model of car that you have.
And that can even fix the problems that I have with my bad English.
In theory, all of that is possible, and whoever is able to control that could essentially control the internet. Personally, I think AI is a tool that's really, really incredible. Like being able to develop web designs within seconds, giving the basics of code for an app, or giving the blueprint of a script. But I don't think it's at the point yet where anyone can give it free reign of creativity without a human going in and correcting the mistakes. Like right now, it's perfect for tasks that simply speed up an existing process, like search results or getting a quick output.
Okay, at this point of the video, we got everything we needed to know about this AI chatbot. He's starting to repeat himself, so we're gonna stop in here. I am personally looking positive for this. It was actually bright news for me. Of course, AI is probably gonna take over the world in the wildest dreams of Elon Musk and the Planet of the Apes, but this doesn't matter. Once again, it was a great video. Nice. Graham Stephan is an awesome content creator and I love all of his videos. Once again, if you're new to the channel, you can also subscribe to my channel so you can watch everything I do as well. Bye.